let's just say, in theory, and we're talking in theory here, that this is a torn Achilles and he has to miss the 25-26 season. If you are Boston, and you as the diehard, longtime Boston fan, the Celtics fan,
I'm not.
you were the kid that
Can I say that? I didn't grow up a Celtics fan, so I'm objective. Probably when it comes to everything other than Jayson Tatum. Okay, like I'll admit,
what do you do?
Probably not
what
objective.
Do you do?
But what do you do? So they're already over the cap with a new owner coming in. Okay, so they got to get under the cap to start. So I think you got to somehow find a way to move Drew Holiday, who isn't the same player he was last year and is getting older. I think you got to find a way to move Porzingis, which is going to be really tough because right now, honestly, him moving out there looks like you defending. I mean, it's that bad. So you got to probably get rid of those two guys. And Jaylen Brown moves to the number one option, which I think he's wanted for years. I don't think he's going to want it when he sees it because he can't be the number one option on a really good team. He can't. He has benefited from having Jayson Tatum with him pretty much his entire career. Now he probably won't next year. I think the best scenario for Boston, and Boston fans are not going to want to hear this, the best scenario next year for the Boston Celtics is they suck. They tank, they suck, and they have a chance for A.J. DeMonsa, the local kid from Brockton, Mass, next year in the draft, or Darren Peterson Jr., or Cameron Boozer, or Nate Ament. This is a really good draft at the top, and it's not about one guy. Like this draft was about Cooper Flagg. The next year, it'll be about, I would say, 3, 4, 5 guys all having a chance to play their way into that number one pick. But Darren Peterson is a terrific, you've seen him, Rob, terrific combo guard who's going to play at Kansas as a freshman. A.J. DeMonsa, Brockton, Mass, like I said, he's 6'9". Upside is incredible. He'll play at BYU. Boozer, one of the Boozer twins, he's a walking double-double at Duke next year. Nate Ament, going to Tennessee, has a body like Kevin Durant, not quite as tall. He's probably 6'9", 6'10", but long, skilled. Those are the 4 guys that I think are all maybe going to be in the equation for the number one overall pick. Boozer probably won't be in the equation for the number one. But again, he's all about production.
I hate what you just said right there. All right. And it's not what you're saying makes a lot of sense, but I hate what you just said because what you just said is that the current defending NBA champions should tank to get a higher draft.
Yeah.
This is the Boston Celtics. What are we talking about for tanking for the Celtics? Like that, that is, I just
the alternative,
hate
Rob, the alternative is
I know. Hold on.
Brown, you end up being in the play-in game next year as with Jaylen Brown as the number one.
I get it, but we have built a system here where the incentive is to lose, right? Like, and I understand if you are, let's just say like you're Charlotte, right? Or you're a team like Milwaukee, or you're one of these smaller market teams where attracting a superstar is not something that you're capable of doing for a lot of different reasons, right? Superstars want to go to New York, they want to go to Miami, they want to go to Toronto, they want to go to LA, they want to go to these big markets, right? You're Boston. You are the Boston Celtics. You are the most storied franchise in the NBA, one of the most storied franchises in the history of American sports. And we're talking about you tanking when you already got Jaylen Brown, who was the reigning NBA Finals MVP on it. Like that, the fact that this is where the NBA is structured is one of the biggest problems with it as a sport.
What would you do? What would you do? You want to be mediocre next year?
Yeah, try to win. You're
not going to win with Jaylen Brown as the number. If you've got a core, this is your core: Jaylen Brown, Derek White, who I love, but he's like 4th on the scouting report right now. He'll move up to 2 next year if Tatum's out, and then Peyton Pritchard is like literally potentially your number 3 guy right now. Like the hard part is you've got $100 million plus tied up in Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and Tatum looks like he's out for the year, and Jaylen Brown cannot be Batman. He wants to be. He's going to get the opportunity to be, and it ain't going to go well.
I'm not saying that tanking is the wrong option. I'm saying that when you have the Boston Celtics, who are currently, as things stand, still the reigning NBA champions, and the best option for them is to try to lose as much as possible to go get a top draft pick, that's when you know your system's kind of fucked. And that's when you know that the NBA has
and they
very
tried to
real
flatten it too. I mean, the
They
crazy
did,
part is they tried to
which I
flatten the
think is a
odds.
great thing. I honestly think it's a great thing. And
Better,
it's not going to
better.
like the fact that the fact that we're in a place right now where the Dallas Mavericks can trade Luka Doncic to the Lakers, publicly say we only talked with the Lakers about trading Luka Doncic, and then they get the number 1 pick as the 11th most likely team with a 1.8% chance. Like, you're not beating the collusion allegations, right? Like, you're not beating the NBA's rigged allegations. And if Boston goes out and tanks and ends up getting the number 1 pick, like, we all see it. Adam Silver, we all see it. David Stern, like, you set yourself a trend here, man.
Stop,
like we know,
stop
it.
with your garbage.
But like,
I think the bigger thing right now is that Utah and Washington, that both clearly tanked this year to try to get Cooper Flag, ended up getting 5th and 6th. So I think if your team's now looking at this, you're saying, like, is it really worth it? Now, next year, again, I think you're going to have 3 or 4 guys in the same realm potentially. So I don't think it's going to be all or nothing with the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I just hate the fact that it's the Celtics, man, and we're telling them to go lose a year after they won the NBA championship. It's just that's part of what makes me so frustrated about the NBA is you reward being non-competitive. I just hate the idea that in professional sports you reward being non-competitive.